Tonight, a chemical cleanup taking some time.
We want to make sure that we take all the precautions necessary to keep the public safe.
Drivers detoured off the 402 as it takes longer than expected to clear the scene. Plus, closed for the foreseeable future.
Once this work is done, this area is going to be very safe and the river will be safe moving forward.
Work on the Springbank Dam shutting down a section of the TVP. And music and dance take over Victoria Park. We're live from Sunfest for the kickoff festivities.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with resident pushback in southwest London against a developer planning a cluster of high-rise buildings on Pack Road. As Daryl Newcomb reports, the current project would create much more density in the neighborhood compared to what was originally proposed.
Just 9 stories. We can live with that.
Residents of the Talbot Village neighborhood say an application to build taller high-rises along this stretch of Pack Road is simply too much density.
The biggest shock was the changes that were proposed simply did not reflect what was originally proposed in the secondary plan.
The Southwest Area Plan, dated October 2024, prescribes medium density along Pack Road, seen here in orange, with lower density in yellow behind. But Southside Construction has applied to build this cluster of buildings up to 16 stories tall along Pack Road, plus 206 single detached lots and 36 townhouses behind. In total, 4,000 people would eventually live on the property. Neighbors say with a density of 300 units per hectare, the high-rise blocks would constitute one of the highest density areas in London.
Spread these high-density buildings throughout the various developments that you're looking at. Don't concentrate them directly here on Pack Road.
Neighbors emphasize they want to collaborate with the developer and City Hall on an amicable solution, but worry time is running short. They want a compromise that would lower the density, shorten the buildings along Pack Road, and take into consideration the traffic impacts of the development.
The amount of traffic that will be generated on Pack Road and the noise pollution created by that will have a significant impact on the homes that already exist.
CTV News contacted Southside Construction about its proposal for the property at 6309 Pack Road, but has yet to receive a reply. The Planning and Environment Committee is scheduled to consider the application on July 15th. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
A major section of the Thames Valley Parkway is about to close and it won't reopen for several months. City officials say it's necessary as crews decommission Springbank Dam. With more on that, here's Brian Bicknell.
It is a favorite pastime of Londoners and visitors alike. But now anyone walking, cycling or rolling one of the most picturesque stretches of the Thames Valley Parkway is about to get stopped in their tracks.
Well, it's disappointing. I take this path almost every day and I really love it. It's beautiful down here. It's nice to get out for a little bit, you know.
The TVP through Springbank Park will be shut down the whole summer and most of fall as the next phase of work gets underway to decommission Springbank Dam.
It's basically this lower section of TVP that's closed, the section that takes you down beside the dam. But then we have a detour route set up through Springbank Park.
The section between the Springbank pump house and northeast corner of the parking lot is already fenced and marked with construction signage. It will be closed to all users as of Monday.
We've been rerouted around it for the better part of last year, and I would have thought that it would have been finished, done and dusted at this stage, but it seems that it's revving up again.
While the summer work schedule is unpopular, some are glad to see the last days of the dam.
Ecologically, it's for the good. We have seen changes in the water's clarity and the wildlife that has come back, the fish as well, and so that's a great thing for what's happened to this river.
So work crews are taking out the gates, which are still in the water, but now they're also taking out the concrete deck along the top, which is in worse condition than anyone anticipated. Once it's all said and done, the only thing left will be the concrete pillars. Removing the concrete deck adds $1.65 million to the cost of the project, which now totals $6 million.
It was either spend $1 million for 5 years of life or to spend $1.6 million to make it last over 15 years. Once this work is done, this area is going to be very safe and the river will be safe moving forward. So it's really important work to remove that concrete deck and remove the gates now.
The affected section of the TVP will be closed from July 7th to December 11th. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Good evening. We've had a gorgeous summer day across southern Ontario. A nice northerly flow keeping the air mass quite fresh. Comfortable conditions heading into the evening and even cooling off overnight. We have had a few pop-up showers towards the Michigan area and a few fair weather clouds, but southern Ontario has been mainly clear. There were very isolated showers late this afternoon, but most of the region enjoying gorgeous sunny conditions. As we push toward 8 o'clock, 23 degrees, clear conditions, and note the winds continuing out of the north. Great night to open up the windows, give those air conditioners and fans perhaps a break. The heat returns as we head into your Friday afternoon, and heat and humidity roll in for Saturday. I'll take you through that forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Julie. A section of the 402 near Strathroy is still closed tonight as crews clean up a chemical spill. The westbound lanes were shut down yesterday afternoon after a transport truck crashed into a ditch. Police say a hazardous acid was slowly leaking from the trailer, bringing in emergency crews to pump the chemical out of the ditch and into another vehicle. They also say the Environment Ministry has been notified. Last night, police said they expected the road to reopen this morning. Then today predicted that would happen at 4 p.m. Just in the last 20 minutes, they now say there's no estimated reopening time.
Absolutely. It's for public safety and for everyone's health. Obviously, when we have individuals indicate that we have this type of product that's on board this transport truck, we want to make sure that we take all the precautions necessary to keep the public safe.
Police in Elgin County say a cyclist was sent to hospital with life-threatening injuries last night after they were hit by a driver. Police say it happened on a rural road east of Dutton around 8:30 last night. They say a driver hit a 62-year-old woman riding her bike, leading to a road closure lasting several hours for the investigation. According to police, the person who hit the cyclist was not injured. London police say a man wanted on human trafficking charges is now in custody. Police say 42-year-old Corey Robert Fowler turned himself in after they issued an arrest warrant. Fowler faces numerous charges, including 1 count of trafficking a person under the age of 18. According to police, the Woodstock man met a teen online, then started a relationship with her. He then started advertising her services as a sex worker on social media. Police say the woman was assaulted after she said she no longer wanted to do sex work. London police say they've arrested a 32-year-old man accused of making racist threats online toward South Asian and Latin American communities. He faces 1 count of uttering threats of death or bodily harm, and police say the online posts have been removed. Police in Oshawa say they're investigating a swarming attack as a possible hate crime. According to police, the suspects violently ripped off a woman's hijab and kicked her repeatedly. Allison Hurst reports.
Watch as a person jumps onto the counter in the middle of the screen at an Oshawa pizza. It happens again before another hops over to try and take something. That's when the owner comes out of the back trying to stop them and is swarmed in a violent attack.
And I was devastated, absolutely devastated. There's not much that happens in this community that is like that.
Skylar Griswold was at the plaza around 12:30 a.m. Wednesday when it happened.
There was loud music, and then there was like running and screaming and yelling, and I was like, okay, well, I don't really know what's going on here, but don't want to get too involved.
The surveillance footage is blurred because police say the suspects are all under the age of 18. As it continues, more people get involved. The victim was taken to hospital.
My mother is still recovering from the attack. She is deeply shaken. The incident has left her scarred and extremely on edge.
This morning, the victim's daughter spoke at a news conference.
Hearing the news, I was numb. After seeing the footage of the incident multiple times, every time, I am left in shock to see my mother attacked by several people at the same time.
Durham Regional Police say the investigation is in its early stages, but their hate crime and equity and inclusion units are involved.
We are looking for a group of males and females. I believe the majority of them were females. However, we are looking for both.
Police did not give an exact number of suspects, but the National Council of Canadian Muslims says there were 10 and are calling for action.
It's time for the words to become actions now. Our elected officials to acknowledge what is happening across the country and to formulate a real plan with real solutions.
They want to see consultation with community members, a robust anti-hate crime unit, an extension of the anti-hate grant to include businesses, and an anti-hate and anti-Islamophobia curriculum.
She was assaulted. She was traumatized. She was beaten up by 10 people. Her hijab was pulled off, head stomped, and we're lucky that she's alive.
The owner of the business next door was shocked to hear what happened.
I can't imagine what she's going through right now, and hopefully she gets better.
Griswold also works in the plaza and knows the victim.
I was in complete and utter shock. This woman has been nothing but like a positive pillar in our community. She feeds people when they don't have money. She helps out in the community. She listens, you know, she's so full of love. I've never ever experienced anything like that before.
She hopes the suspects are caught. Alison Hurst, CTV News.
OPP and Grey Bruce say a Chatsworth senior almost lost tens of thousands of dollars in a grandparent scam, but for a quick-thinking family member. Police say the victim was called by people pretending to be her grandson and son, claiming they needed nearly 60 grand to get out of legal trouble. Police were contacted, and they say 2 men from Shelburne were arrested and charged with fraud. A new sign now greets visitors to one of Midwestern Ontario's sandy hotspots. Scott Miller has more on the symbolism behind the change from Sauble Beach to Sauble Beach.
Visitors to Sauble Beach are having to double take today as the iconic sign that greets tourists, which used to say Sauble Beach, changed Monday night.
My reaction was, what the heck happened? What is happening here?
On the eve of Canada Day, members of the Saugeen First Nation changed the sign at the end of Sauble Beach's main street from Welcome to Sauble Beach to Welcome to Saugeen Beach.
It's obviously been decades in the making. We've had a lot of struggles, and I feel like finally we can put our name on it.
Following a nearly 30-year court battle, the Saugeen First Nation had ownership of nearly 2.5 kilometers of Sauble Beach's valuable sand returned to them in April of 2023. Following multiple appeals by the previous owners, the town of South Bruce Peninsula, the decision to return ownership of Sauble's sand to the Saugeen First Nation was upheld in December of last year. A change to Sauble's sign was supposed to happen earlier this summer, but it was decided to hold off until the eve of Canada Day.
The timing, I think, and for me personally, the timing's perfect. It's a statement.
The sign change caught many off guard, including the town of South Bruce Peninsula, who didn't know the Sauble sign was coming down and the Saugeen sign was going up until it happened. The Sauble Beach sign is a well-known landmark with deep meaning for many people, says South Bruce Peninsula's Mayor Jay Kirkland. While we respect Saugeen First Nation's right to make changes on their land, we believe open communication is important, especially when it involves something so symbolic to the broader community. While many visitors to Sauble Beach today said they didn't even notice the different sign, there has definitely been mixed reaction to those in the know about the change to Sauble Beach's iconic sign.
It was disappointing and it was surprising just because I don't think many people knew that it was coming, and just to show up on July 1st and see the sign has been changed on the beach, I think a lot of people are just in disbelief.
I'm really glad that they did it because everyone knows it as Sauble Beach, but it isn't actually Sauble Beach, it's Saugeen Beach.
Nice.
And I think people should know that.
The sign change at the beachfront from Sauble Beach to Saugeen Beach is more symbolic than anything, say Saugeen First Nation councillors. The town itself is still called Sauble Beach, and that's still what will show up on everyone's GPS when they plan their visit to the sand and waters, clearly now owned by the Saugeen First Nation.
To everybody, it'll still be Sauble Beach. I mean, to the town, it's still Sauble Beach. Just that this part of the beach is Saugeen First Nation, that's all.
There's a lot of years that it was
the wrong name put on the beach. So I think it's time.
In Sauble Beach, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Local veterinarians set up at 2 community housing buildings today offering Parvo virus vaccines after several confirmed cases reported last month. With more on their efforts to contain the spread, here's Rita Ismail.
Today is a big day. Today is where we're running the Parvo clinic. So we actually are on site here at the apartment complex.
Local veterinarians, along with Progressive Animal Welfare Services, set up a mobile vaccine clinic outside 349 Warncliffe Road North. That's one of 2 London and Middlesex community housing buildings where there were at least 4 confirmed cases of Parvo canine virus in June. 2 of the dogs had to be euthanized. Linda Armstrong, board chair of PAWS and animal welfare charity, says they've been advocating for the past 3 weeks to get dogs vaccinated against the highly contagious and potentially deadly virus.
We're feeling super about this clinic being here, about the way that people rallied to bring it, about the way that the vets stepped forward to give their time voluntarily.
Dr. Trina Hancock, owner of Santa Adelaide Animal Hospital, says she volunteered her time, staff, and donated supplies because vet care is not accessible for everyone in the community.
For us, it was sort of like, uh-oh. We have had dogs that have passed away from this virus. We know where it sort of originated. And more, I guess the term outbreak is used just because the risk is there and it's so high.
Organizers say 31 resident dog owners registered and paid $5 to get their dog tested for the virus. If negative, they were administered a combo Parvo and rabies vaccine. If positive, they were offered treatment on site.
As the virus spreads, it can get worse, and I just want to protect my dogs.
LMHC's Chief Operating Officer, Sarah DiCandido, was also on hand today and says they've had similar clinics offered at these buildings in the past.
We have about 75 to 100 dogs potentially here. So I think it's reasonable to assume that there would be an unvaccinated population, which is why today is so important and we're so excited to have our partners here. As a result of this wonderful relationship, we hope this continues moving forward across some of our sites.
Another clinic will be held August 6th to offer a booster shot. Out of the 31 dogs tested today, there were 0 positive results. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
4 days of music, food, and culture are kicking off at Victoria Park tonight. Sunfest is getting underway with 5 stages set to entertain audiences through the weekend. For more on the festivities, we're joined live by Nick Paparella from Victoria Park. Nick, over to you.
Here in London and at Victoria Park, the 31st annual Sunfest is back. I'm joined now by the co-artistic director, Mercedes Gashar. Mercedes, a lot of people come here all weekend long for the wonderful music, but really Sunfest is so much more than just the music.
Sunfest is about the community coming together, Nick, across music, across food and crafts. We have over 220 vendors freshly installed throughout the park. There's something for everybody.
And tell us about the music. We have great international and great national.
Amazing national groups coming from coast to coast, from BC, Yukon, all the way to New Brunswick. We really have such a great selection of music this year.
And what about the international?
We have from newly represented territories that we've never presented before, like Jordania, like Chile, and of course the Democratic Republic of Congo.
And from the Democratic Republic of Congo, we have Fulu Miziki, and Marine is here. And tell us about your group here. What kind of music do they play?
Fulu Miziki, it's an Afro-punk eco-futurist group. And we are very excited to be here tonight.
Yes, it's your first time at Sunfest, first time in Canada.
Yeah, first time for everyone.
And tell us, where do you go from here after Sunfest?
We are going to Montreal, Toronto, and Quebec City.
Okay, they'll be performing tonight on the Bandshell stage, but they're here to perform for you live on CTV London. A big round of applause for Fulu Miziki. introducing them on the bandshell stage tonight. They're back again tomorrow night. Sunfest is on until Sunday night. Always a great way to kick off summer here in London.
Nick Bamparella live for us at Victoria Park. Thank you so much, Nick. Coming up, Canada's U.S. exports on the decline. However, other countries are stepping up, making record purchases. Plus, Ontario's opposition leader on the ground in Dresden, rallying against a proposed landfill site.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvlondon.ca, your home for news.
Welcome back. President Donald Trump's mega bill has passed the U.S. House following a near 9-hour speech by House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
The yeas are 218, the nays are 214. The motion is adopted.
The Democrats had intended to delay voting on the highly controversial multi-trillion-dollar package targeting Medicaid, Social Security, and clean energy tax credits. Ultimately, it passed by a narrow margin, so it will now head to the White House for the president's signature before becoming law. New data released today shows the impact of the persisting trade war, as well as Canada's efforts to diversify our export markets. With more on the numbers and what they mean for businesses and consumers, here's Rachel Aiello.
Canada-U.S. trade is stuck in a tariff-induced rut, according to new numbers from Statistics Canada. Exports of Canadian goods to the United States have decreased for a fourth consecutive month, costing businesses billions.
Businesses are really kind of in suspended animation right now. And you always worry about losing a customer, even if it's just for a matter of months, because there's no guarantee that you're going to get that customer back.
This snapshot of the state of trade with Canada's largest export market comes amid some better news. Canada's overall merchandise trade deficit narrowed slightly in May. Imports fell 1.6% to $66 billion, while exports were up 1.1% to $60 billion. These figures bringing the deficit to $5.9 billion, down from April's record-setting $7.6 billion. The slight rebound attributed to exports of Canadian goods to other countries hitting a record high. Experts say this is a direct result of efforts to diversify Canada's international trade relationships.
What we're seeing in the numbers is somewhat encouraging. I mean, that, exporters, Canadian companies are taking that spare capacity that the United States created or the empty space on the order books and are able to, in some cases, fill it with other markets.
Those I spoke with today said with Canadian businesses working to lessen their reliance on the U.S., the worst may be in the rearview mirror. But until Prime Minister Mark Carney locks in a trade pact with U.S. President Donald Trump, the road ahead will remain rocky. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Residents and politicians rallied in Dresden today, pushing back on the provincial government's legislation, paving the way for a local dump to be revived. With more on their message, here's Robert Lothian.
Dresden residents rallied together against a contentious proposal.
We've fought so hard to make it a place for people to come and enjoy themselves and not to have a big dump in their backyard.
Kill Bill 5!
Kill! Concerns over reviving a decades-old dump are receiving support from Ontario NDP leader Marit Stiles. Traveling to Dresden Thursday, she's encouraging residents to continue fighting.
Reach out to their friends and neighbors and people in other communities, because what happens here in Dresden is what's going to happen across the province.
The Ford government pushed through the Unleashing Our Economy Act late in the spring legislative sitting. Bill 5 allows the York 1 proposed landfill in Dresden to move forward without an environmental assessment that's creating environmental concerns.
The York 1 proposal poses many risks: environmental, agricultural, ecosystem.
Echoed by Indigenous leaders.
Start acting
acting on integrity and not because of the wants of your corporate sponsors or fear from your leaders.
At the dump site, construction equipment appears ready to move, but Chatham-Kent officials say not so fast.
As of today, we have received no applications from York 1. So we've received nothing. They haven't approved or applied for any zoning applications or anything. So we've heard 0, nil, nothing.
Instead, they do have an invite for Premier Doug Ford.
If he's listening, I encourage him to come here and see how close this is. I don't think he has a clue.
And while the legislation has passed, styles feel similar to the Greenbelt scandal. There's still time to stop the landfill.
He introduces a bill, he lies, he lies again, and then we build the public pressure, and he repeals the bill. So this is what we've got to do again.
Robert Lothian, CTV News.
And Julie's on the desk with me now. A beautiful Thursday so far, as we saw with Nick out at Sunfest, a festival really living up to its name, it seems like, so far.
For sure, and these outdoor festivals rely on this gorgeous weather, right? They want beautiful sunny conditions, so people just come out in droves, and definitely delivering.
For sure.
This time of year, that's what we hope for. Lots of sunshine, beach weather, beautiful day. As we head to Grand Bend, I love showing this Grand Bend cam because you can just see how many people out enjoying the conditions. It was cooler today in Grand Bend with that northerly flow off the lake. Temperature this afternoon hovering around 22 to 23 degrees. Now we have had a weak front pushing through our area, and as a result, conditions across our region tonight will be very comfortable. You're going to enjoy it. For sure. Perhaps open up the windows. 26 degrees are high in the area today. Daytime highs anywhere from 24 to 26 with the exception right along that lake shore. We've had a few scattered showers and some thunderstorms moving through just north of Lake Ontario. Eastern Ontario picking up some storms out ahead of that front. It's just been working its way through, and we've had a little bit of isolated thunderstorm activity in through southern Michigan. Now, there were reports of a few isolated pop-up showers, but most of the area has been completely clear today with beautiful sunshine. As we head into your Friday, we're looking at a repeat. Across the country, Western Canada, a bit cooler in through Vancouver and now spreading into Alberta. Although conditions as we head through the southern prairies, it is hot and we have widespread heat warnings in effect tonight, stretching all the way to northwestern Ontario. We have some active weather moving through the Maritimes, severe thunderstorm watch in effect, and the heat warnings will end as soon as the front comes through. Clear conditions, light winds overnight. We've had that northerly flow today, and that has kept those humidity levels at excellent comfort levels. In terms of the overnight conditions, look at this, single-digit overnight lows. KW, Mount Forest, in London, anywhere from about 12 degrees as we head a bit further south along Lake Erie 14. Heading into Saturday, a warm front comes in, and that'll bring a big push of heat and humidity. We could see a few pop-up showers that move through Saturday, but not expecting anything to spoil the plans for your day. If we see anything at all, it'll be quite quick and passing. Friday's forecast highs, 27 to 28 degrees, heading to Wyerton at 25. A beautiful way to kick off a summer weekend. We'll have sunshine right through the afternoon. Light winds and the forecast high 28. It'll feel like 33. Now by Saturday, though, turning up the heat and humidity, feeling like 40 plus. Our Metal Roof Outlet forecast for Sunday. Some showers developing Sunday afternoon into the evening. The probability ramps up Sunday night to about a 60% chance. And then some showers in the forecast on Monday. We'll dip back down to 26. Mix of sun and cloud Tuesday into Wednesday. Daytime highs 25, and we'll round out the 7-day at 26 degrees. Heading to Midwestern Ontario, you're looking at that beautiful sunny day, 28 degrees, and then Saturday a mix of sun and cloud. As we roll into your Sunday, tracking the cold front, so the heat and humidity packing a punch this weekend for sure, feeling like the upper 30s, close to 40, and then on Sunday, showers with the cold front coming through late Sunday into Monday. So Sunday night, Monday will be our chance for measurable rain. Mainly cloudy on Tuesday and 25, and a mix of sun and cloud on Wednesday and 24. So recapping the weekend forecast, Saturday the heat and humidity arrives with a chance of a pop-up shower, and then we have rain in the forecast late Sunday into Monday. But looking good, lots of sunshine in the forecast, great weather for all the festivals going on. Carlyle, back to you.
Very much, Julie. Still ahead, the trouble with e-transfers. Hackers taking advantage of easy-to-guess passwords, intercepting transactions. A warning from fraud experts to make sure auto deposit is enabled when sending or receiving e-transfers. As Pat Foran reports, an Ontario woman recently had to pay for a vacation rental twice after her first transaction was intercepted.
Everybody just keeps telling me it's not their responsibility, and too bad for me.
Tracy Brill of Oshawa recently retired and decided to take a trip with her husband this past March. A person in Saskatchewan had a condo for rent in Mexico and asked Brill to send her almost $3,500. Brill checked the email address and e-transferred the funds.
This was sent to the right email, and she didn't get it. Somebody else's, the money's gone.
The receiver did not have auto deposit set up, and Brill says she unfortunately used a security question that was easy to guess. But she had no idea hacking an e-transfer was possible.
I got a phone call from the bank that said that the money had been intercepted by another email.
Brill did get her vacation, but had to pay for the trip twice.
I had to pay it again.
When we reached out to Interac, a spokesperson said, if an individual does not have Interac e-transfer auto deposits set up, we recommend selecting security questions with answers that are not easily guessable or based on publicly available information.
E-transfer fraud is one of the fastest growing financial crimes in Canada.
Francis Sims, a cybersecurity expert at Humber College, says while auto deposit is not fail-safe, it's one of the best ways to make sure your e-transfer gets to where it's supposed to go.
Auto deposit helps a lot because then if somebody's email account was compromised, well, what happens is as soon as the e-transfer is sent, it automatically goes into the bank account that's associated with that particular email.
Auto deposit is secure and convenient, helps protect against email fraud, verifies transactions are sent to the intended recipient, and the money is automatically deposited without security questions. As for Brill, the theft has her reconsidering using e-transfers.
I will not be using e-transfer for large amounts of money going forward.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
New research is shedding light on the increased health risks that come with eating processed meats. American and British researchers analyzed data from more than 60 previous studies on dietary habits and the risk of major diseases. Looking at processed meats, they found people who ate the equivalent of a hot dog a day had noticeable increased risk of type 2 diabetes and colorectal cancer compared to people who did not. The authors say their findings show there is no safe amount of processed meat. The study was published in Nature Medicine and also outlined elevated risks from sugar-sweetened beverages and trans fatty acids. Strength in technology stocks helped Canada's main stock index finish higher today. The TSX up 165 points. In New York, the Dow added 344 and the Nasdaq up 208. Canadian dollar gaining a quarter cent today. On commodity markets, gold fell almost $17 an ounce. Oil lost 45 cents a barrel. When we come back, bomb threats at Canadian airports, disruptions across the country, but ultimately no danger to passengers. Welcome back. Authorities across 3 provinces are investigating bomb threats at multiple Canadian airports, disrupting flights and causing lengthy delays. Judy Trin reports.
Bleary-eyed travelers set to depart on early flights at the Ottawa International Airport, unexpectedly jolted by a security scare.
I just checked in 10 minutes ago. Flight's canceled. That's it. Good luck.
Gates were closed. We couldn't get through, so we all sat down, and there was a lot of questions. And then a friend of mine just texted me and said there was a bomb threat.
The threat was directed at NAV Canada, which manages national air traffic control operations. In a statement, the organization said that bomb threats impacted its facilities in Ottawa, Montreal, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Vancouver, and that it's collaborating with authorities to ensure the safety of all personnel and passengers. NAV Canada will not comment on what motivated the threat, but it did evacuate its staff and issued a temporary order to ground planes, preventing takeoffs and landings. Passengers who boarded one flight were forced to disembark. At departure gates, travelers were pushed back to one side of the building.
We were walked right up to our gate on time, and as we were approaching gate 26, we saw a row of like security people walking towards us saying, everybody back, turn around.
In Winnipeg, the airport was eerily quiet, but in the end, police did not find a bomb at any of the threat locations. But passengers were knocked off track.
We just got a notification that we were rebooked for tomorrow, which is 24 hours too late for our family reunion.
Normal operations and flights resumed after more than 3 hours across affected airports. But finding out who's responsible will take much longer. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
City officials in Toronto say it could cost more than $500,000 to get a growing rat problem under control. Staff say they've been working on a so-called rat response plan for more than a year now in response to more frequent complaints about rodents in some neighborhoods. A council committee heard 2 new staff members would cost more than $350,000 a year, while training and communication would cost another $150,000 annually.
We are gearing up for the weekend and lots of outdoor events going on. I love the summer festival season. We're joined by KP for mornings on 97.5 Virgin Radio. KP, downtown London, this is the biggest festival and one that so many people from all over come to check out. Tell us about it.
Exactly. One of my favorites. It's Sunfest. This is huge. It's happening Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, of course, in Victoria Park. We've got tons of artisans and vendors from all over the world. There are over, I think they said like a couple of hundred musicians from 22 different countries. There's, I think, 225 vendors. So you're going to see a lot of really unique stuff that you're only going to find at Sunfest.
It's such a great celebration of community. Baseball, sports fans, there's a baseball game.
Yeah, we've got the London Majors Friday night, Labatt Park, 7:35, and they're taking on the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. So it's going to be a really good game to kick off our weekend.
All right, there's a market at the Covent Garden Market.
This is the July market, so this is happening upstairs Saturday afternoon, and it's going to be just a lot of fun, a lot of local artisans again selling one-of-a-kind, unique goods, some yummy food, gifts, whatever you're after, you'll definitely find it here.
All right, and do we have anything else to wrap up the weekend? I know there's movie nights and other things going on.
Yeah, so while you're downtown, there's actually another market happening Saturday, Dundas Place. It's the library block, but they've got, again, live music, vendors, dancing. It's a whole party. It's kind of a street party. This is happening every Saturday throughout the summer there. And again, it's totally free, so go check it out. It's family friendly. It's a really good vibe.
And the movie nights, I mentioned that briefly. Tell us about that and how people can find out more.
So I love this one. I personally go with my kids all the time. They're absolutely free, different parks all around the city. This week, for example, there's different corners of the city. There's one in like kind of Westmount area, one in East London, and everywhere in between. But the Wild Robots playing, Moana 2, Fireheart, just a bunch of awesome movies, and again, all family friendly. So you bring your lawn chairs, blankets, it's free to attend, bring some snacks, and you just get to watch a movie under the stars.
And for a full list of the movies, it's london.ca.
London.ca, you got it.
All right, that's your London list with KP, and we'll see you next time. Summer is such a beautiful time. Families making lots of memories. Thank you to John and Rose Crandon for this photo taken in Grand Bend. Temperatures are set to climb in the coming days. Friday feeling like the low 30s, but by Saturday feeling like 40 plus. Lots of sunshine in the forecast as we wrap up the week. The next opportunity for rain moving in Sunday afternoon.
A new American report on drug trafficking suggests barely any of the fentanyl seized in the U.S. originates from Canada. The study was conducted by an American think tank called the Manhattan Institute. It examined thousands of large-scale fentanyl seizures across 80 U.S. counties along the Canadian and Mexican borders. Researchers say by weight, about 99% of fentanyl pills and capsules recovered between 2013 and 2024 were seized in U.S.-Mexico border counties. According to the report, large Canadian border seizures were relatively rare. Food labeling is changing in Canada, with more nutritional information shifting to the front of the package, particularly when it comes to salt, sugar, and saturated fats. With more on the rollout, here's Jonathan McInnes.
Some nutritional information is migrating from the back of food packaging to the front.
No manufacturers want these labels on their package, so they're reformulating, and we're likely going to have access to healthier products moving forward.
The labeling is a directive from Health Canada.
We know it's highlighting sodium, sugars, and saturated fat, which is really important for the consumer to know because it increases a risk of chronic disease.
Front of the package labeling is needed if the product exceeds 15% of the recommended daily intake of those ingredients. Potential health risks include stroke, obesity, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and some types of cancer. The hope is the labels will help consumers make quick and informed choices when grocery shopping and support health officials in educating people about foods high in sodium, sugars, and saturated fat.
But it might make me think a little bit and maybe learn something different about what's in our food.
That's perfect, according to dietitian Lori Barker-Jackman, who says avoiding labeled foods isn't reasonable or necessary.
It's okay to choose foods that have a front of package label sometimes. It's making sure we don't choose foods that are high in sodium, sugars, or saturated fat all of the time.
For Sylvain Charlebois, the labeling program is a positive one. Still, he has concerns.
If you are reducing the amount of sodium, sugar, or fat, are you replacing that with something else that may not be desirable?
The labels are mandatory for prepackaged foods, with some exceptions like plain milk, plain yogurt, and cheese because they contain calcium. Food manufacturers have until January 1st of next year to fully implement the labeling system. Jonathan McGuinness, CTV News, Halifax.
A new dance studio has opened in Edmonton dedicated to breakdancing specifically. Neramanisa has more on what the space means to the young artists looking for a place to express themselves.
Hunter Olson just learned about breakdancing a few months ago. Now the 12-year-old is letting loose on the dance floor.
I'm a different person in the studio. I'm not me really. I'm B-Girl Bounty Hunter, so I'm a dancer and I'm confident.
Also new to breakdancing is 14-year-old Ben Tower. The two are getting lessons at the New Roots Breaking Studios in South Edmonton.
At first I was overwhelmed, wow, these guys are so good at this. I wonder if I'll ever get good at this. I feel like that every day I'm getting closer and closer to reaching that goal of being one of the big guys, you know?
The studio opened in April. The owner says he created this spot because breakdancing in public isn't always welcomed.
We just need a little open space for us to dance, but then unfortunately, we always get kicked out. So having this space is really a blessing for all of us that want to continue and also start.
Breakdance involves using your entire body, from the quick foot movements to the arms helping defy gravity.
At first, when you see breaking, you're like, that's insane. How am I supposed to execute that? But I think it just starts with that first step of showing up.
It's like the closest thing to being a superhero, because not every day you see someone doing all these crazy moves. You can see the wave, but you won't see someone 15 seconds on one arm.
Breakdancing started in the 70s. It found its biggest audience yet, making its debut at the 2024 Summer Olympics. Canada's Phil Wizard won the men's gold medal.
I'm kind of shy at school and not super out there, so representing Canada would make a super boost for me.
Uplifting even when she's upside down. Neramanisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
London's top stories.
We have breaking news tonight out of Ottawa. The latest on the
breaking news alerts.
I'm tracking an area of severe weather. It'll start.
And watch live.
A development now to a story from City Hall we brought you.
Download the CTV News app.
Finally tonight, the lasting influence from one of Hollywood's original stuntmen. Adam Sawatsky has more on the silent film star and how he's inspired a pair of Canadian brothers.
Plenty of that.
If this were a decade or so ago, these brothers would likely be watching something with superheroes.
As a little kid, I wanted to be the Incredible Hulk.
Well, Grayson Cole Murphy was mesmerized by the Hulk's strength. His younger brother, Kalen, thought it would be wonderful to be a web slinger.
Spider-Man's cool. He can do flips, so I want to do flips, you know?
But instead of turning to a YouTube tutorial, Kalen taught himself how to move like he was in a Marvel movie.
He blew my mind and inspired me.
So, Grayson recently asked his little brother to start teaching him.
It's pretty scary. You kind of feel sick to your stomach a little bit because you don't know if you're going to land on your head.
Yet Grayson perseveres, but not to emulate some old superhero, not since he discovered the work of one particular old movie star.
It's a video of Buster Keaton and some of his famous stunts.
Buster Keaton?
Yeah.
Buster Keaton, who before movies had sound, made audiences laugh, and before CGI or AI was even an idea, made them gasp.
I think it's incredible one guy that revolutionized stunting.
Who more than a century later has now inspired Grayson to pursue stunt work professionally.
Wow, that was amazing.
Kalen, on the other hand, is practicing his super flips because he's been invited to play with a professional soccer team in Europe over the summer.
Maybe I'll do it as like a celebration if I score or something.
But there's one thing Kalen and Grayson know definitely. No matter who inspires them to do cool things, being brothers encourages them to be better people.
Teaches me to not give up.
He's taught me like being responsible for myself, being able to self-reflect.
And they've both learned that even better than growing up to be like a comic book dynamic duo is actually being real-life best friends. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Colwood.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. I'm back tonight with your late news at 11. Bye for now.